you can actually use a phone to process this. So what you can do is you have these film X-rays. In a lot of countries, you have film X-rays. You don't have the digital X-ray copies. So you have an Android app. You can put that film on a view box, on the white box that you see in the doctor's office. You can put it there. You can take a picture using the Android app, and we can process that as well. And all of this happens in a minute. I mean, everything you can actually, from the time the X-ray is taken to the time the result is produced, is less than a minute.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Innovating India, the show that gets you disruptors from across the country. This week we have with us Prashant Warrior, co-founder and CEO of Cure.ai. Well, what's he on a mission for? He's democratizing healthcare diagnosis. Through AI, you can actually diagnose whether you are susceptible to COVID or if you have tuberculosis or any other disease. It's not only bringing costs down, but it's cutting across geographical and demographic divides. Thank you, Prashant, for joining us. Delighted to have you here on the show. Let me begin by asking you about the big global idea that you came up with, right? Because you're working in 30 countries. This is a technology that runs across, whether developing countries or developed economies. Tell us a little bit about that, because you're a startup that clearly thought bigger than, just catering to the Indian market.
Sure. Thanks, Shweta, for having me here. So I think when we started, we said that this is a software as a service product, right? And this is a product which can interpret. So what we do is we build AI products which can automatically interpret radiology images within a minute, right? So you can get an X-ray, we'll process that within a minute. You can get a CT, we'll process that within a minute. So that is what we are developing. That is what we are delivering, right? And these are delivered off of cloud services. So we are on AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud. And the reality is that wherever you are, whether you are in India or US or Africa, somewhere in Africa or even Pakistan, you can actually deliver this solution anywhere in the world, because that process of deploying and delivering this is so seamless. In fact, we can deploy in any country. During this COVID period, we've deployed in about 15 countries and all remotely, right? You cannot travel there. So,
sure.
So that way, I think we always thought that this is going to be a global product, because the use case is global.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about how does this work? How do you have an X-ray, and how do you diagnose that? Okay, this person might have tuberculosis, might have lung cancer. How does this work out?
How this typically works is, I'll talk about two different ways, which we have enabled now. One is that we deploy a piece of software on the X-ray machine, on the console of the X-ray machine, which will automatically pick up the X-ray from that machine and push it to the cloud using an internet connection, whether it be a 4G connection or a line connection, right? Whatever, it pushes it to the cloud for processing, and it goes to like our AWS cloud, and we process that X-ray there. And the results then flow back into the radiologist, the place where the radiologist or the general practitioner might view the X-rays. So what it will do is it will process, look at that X-ray, the algorithm will look at that X-ray, identify all the different abnormalities that are there, or if it's normal, it will call it normal, right? So it produces that output and gives it to the physician. Now that's one way the algorithm works. The second way that we have now innovated is that you can actually use a phone to process this. So what you can do is you have these film X-rays. In a lot of countries, you have film X-rays. You don't have the digital X-ray copies. So you have an Android app. You can put that film on a view box, on the white box that you see in the doctor's office. You can put it there. You can take a picture using the Android app, and we can process that as well. And all of this happens in a minute. Everything you can actually, from the time the X-ray is taken to the time the result is produced, is less than a minute. And we can detect, of course, the algorithm is trained on, like you said, tuberculosis or lung cancer or COVID-19, COPD. It can basically detect lots of different kinds of abnormalities on the X-ray, and that can be used to drive a certain diagnosis pathway.
Sure. And does this add to my X-ray cost? Like, does this cost something more to the patient who's coming for an X-ray?
Typically not. In fact, I have not seen any provider that we work with increase their cost to the patient. What we do is we help in improving the efficiency of their reads. So by, for example, marking out which X-rays are normal, which are abnormal, we are actually saving them a lot of time, because they know that they can spend a lot less time on the normals and they can spend more time on the abnormals. Mm-hmm. And within the abnormals also, by marking out, not only do we actually tell you what abnormalities are there, we can actually mark out those abnormalities on the X-ray as well. Mm-hmm. The algorithm also is able to figure out that, this part of the X-ray is where the abnormality is. So with that technology, it sort of makes the process of reporting so much more efficient for the radiologist. So it's actually improving productivity. It is improving accuracy, which is again relevant to the patient because the number of missed findings are very small. I mean, you have a lung nodule. I mean, we'll find that there is a lung nodule, and then you can investigate that further. And then most importantly, actually, it's reducing the cost in many places because a lot of times, I mean, getting an X-ray read by the radiologist adds a lot of cost. And we work in countries like Philippines or Vietnam where there are these mobile vans which are going into the city. Even in Mumbai, we were doing that for COVID. And the vans don't have a radiologist. They have X-ray machines.
Sure.
And then people will come and line up in front of the van. They will take an X-ray. And then rather than sending it to the radiologist, now the van can send it to Cure and we can process those X-rays. So we can be more productive, more accurate. And in fact, because we are able to process that without a radiologist cheaper as well. So in fact, we are reducing the cost throughout.
So you spoke about the importance of agility and how you pivoted your model because you initially thought of catering to the US market, and that's when you realized that there is a huge untapped market back home and in other developing countries. Tell us a little bit about that. And you're working in the AI space. Do you think there is a good conducive ecosystem for other developers and entrepreneurs who want to work in this space?
Absolutely. So, I mean, when we started, we actually thought that, I mean, US is by far the largest healthcare market in the world. And everybody sort of focuses on US as a market and says that, okay, this is where I want to build my healthcare products. This is where I want to sell my healthcare products. And that was our initial focus, that we will go there. And of course, I mean, the healthcare market globally is quite regulated. You have to go through the FDA clearance process in the US. You have to have a CE certification in Europe and so on. And that FDA process is about 1.5 to 2 years long. So when we started, we thought that we'll go through that process. Of course, we went through that process and now we are FDA cleared. One of the first, in fact, one of the first Indian companies to be FDA cleared for an AI product. But what we also realized is that there is a tremendous opportunity for us to sell these solutions across the world because a lot of places, especially rural parts of India, Southeast Asia, or Africa, Latin America don't have quality care. I mean, there is no radiologist available. If you think about India, right? I mean, you have about 20,000 radiologists. They're all in the big cities. If you are in a rural town in Bihar or Maharashtra, you will not find a radiologist living in that small town, small village, right? And that is where our technology comes in because our technology can provide an AI service to that place at the same speed that we can provide it to the best hospital in Mumbai. And it can provide an AI result in a minute. And so that is where, I mean, we found that all these places in, for example, the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, India, a lot of African countries, Malawi, for example, Latin America, we are seeing that there is a huge need for these AI services. So that is how we sort of went about scaling up.
Talking about an ecosystem for AI-enabled businesses. We've been talking about Digital India, we've been talking about, and I think COVID has also accelerated a lot of that. So do you think that the Indian ecosystem offers enough opportunity and offers enough talent to sustain and run a business like yours?
No, absolutely. I think we are very proud of the fact that we came out of India and we are delivering this outside of India to rest of the world. And we are one of the most innovative companies. I mean, if you talk to people in the space, we'll be probably the most innovative company in the space globally, compared to Israeli companies or Korean companies, American companies. And I think, there is a lot of talent in India. If you look at people, I worked in the US for a long time. If I look at people who are in Silicon Valley and building data science algorithms there, they are typically, from the similar Indian backgrounds. I think they are either Indians or Asians, Chinese, right? And they are coming in from those countries. And I think we have the opportunity to take that talent in India and keep them in India. And today we are able to do that. Because we are working on cutting edge technology and we are able to take the same talent which would have gone and worked for a Google or a Facebook and have them work for us at Cure and deliver the same kind of output at Cure. And the best part today is, again, comparing back to my days in the US, I studied at Georgia Tech, where I had access to some of the best technologies locally, right? Because at that time, there was no democratization of data, democratization of code, right? Today, everything is open source. All the AI code is open source. A lot of the AI code is open source. There is a lot of data that is open source. So whether I'm in Mumbai or I'm based in San Francisco, I have access to pretty much the same ecosystem of developers to help me build up my portfolio and build up my capability. And that was not there 10 years back. And that is exactly why today India is in a great position to capitalize on the talent that has always been there. But now we can actually develop that talent and they can become real superstars in the AI space.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Prashant. And we wish you the very best. It's been lovely talking to you. And I'm sure that the entrepreneurs out there who are hoping to build businesses in the AI space found your advice really very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shweta. Great being here. Bye.